So for example 6, we're going to express this fraction into a partial fractions. For the first step in doing partial fractions, we have to identify the fraction given here, is it proper or improper. So we can see this is linear. For the denominator part, it will be x. When we expand here, it will become x times x squared, so it becomes x cubed. So numerator ranking is smaller than denominator ranking. Numerator just power of 1 because of linear. Denominator part is cubic power of 3. So when we have numerator smaller than denominator, this is a proper fraction. So only proper fraction can undergo partial fractions. So that will be our first step, identify it proper or not. Then second step, we have to make sure our denominator here is in complete factorization. So we have to see here, this quadratic here, is it we can be factorized. So we notice when we put it into calculator, we cannot factorize anymore. So we will let it like that. So this will be our quadratic factors. Then we continue to our third step, where we're going to split according to our factor. So our first factor here is x minus 2. So here we will accept our quadratic factor since it cannot be factorized anymore. Then step number 4, we're going to identify what we're going to write here. So always remember partial fraction is for proper. When we have linear at denominator, means up here, we will only accept constant. So that constant is always smaller than linear. Then linear smaller than quadratic, quadratic smaller than cubic, cubic smaller than power of 4, polynomial power of 4. So when we have a quadratic factors here, so the numerator part here, it will be a linear. So this is how we represent our fraction into a partial fraction. Then we build out the equation. We get same to the numerator here, where our constant will be multiplied with the factor that we don't have, which is x squared plus 2x plus 2. And then another one here, put your bracket bx plus c, multiply with x minus 2. So when you don't put your bracket, then we will confuse because this bx should be multiplied with the factor that it don't have, which is x minus 2. So after we get this equation, we're going to find out what is our a, b, c. We have 3 unknowns here. So supposedly when we have 3 unknowns here, we have to let it 3 times. So we will find it, let x to the value that we usually can find from the roots here. So we can choose x equals to 2. So another x, we can choose x equals to 0 when we involving linear bx plus c, because it will eliminate our b, we can get c. And then another one, it will be random numbers. For us easier to calculate, I choose 1. Then we start to substitute this into our equation here. So substitute 2 here, it will equals to 5. So when I substitute 2 here, 2 square 4 plus 2 will equals to 10a. When I substitute 2 here, it will become 0. So we managed to get a is 1 over 2. Then we continue, substitute x equals to 0. So here, apply our a here, which is 1 over 2 times 2. And then bx here, when we substitute 0, we left c times negative 2. So negative 4 will equals to negative 2c. c will equals to 2. So finally, for the x equals to 1. So use our a and then substitute x equals to 1. 1 plus 2 plus 2. Then bx plus c, so 1b plus 2. C is 2, times 1 minus 2, negative 1. Find out our B here. So B will equal to negative 1 over 2. Then we substitute back our ABC. Where our A is 1 over 2. So when A is 1 over 2, I put back the denominator 2 at the together with x minus 2. So 1 over 2 and then x minus 2. But for B and C, we have different value because C is a whole number and then B is a fraction number. So we have to substitute one by one. Bx plus C divide by the divisor x squared plus 2x plus 2. So from here, it is already fraction in the fraction. So we have to simplify here. The numerator part, we get same to the denominator, make sure we put it in the single fraction like this. So what can we do there? We can get same to the denominator, which is 2. So the denominator for this, it will times 2. So 2 times 2 will become 4. So finally, we will equal to 1 over 2 x minus 2. Numerator part, it left 4 minus x. Denominator part, so 2 together with this denominator part. So that will be our simplest form. So for the first mark is how we split according to our factor and build out our equation in order to find our x. So concept number 3 here is we're going to substitute 3x here because we have 3 unknown and get to the answer of A, B, C. So finally, when I substitute here into the partial fraction, simplify it. So you can notice here when we divide by 2, it is like this. Negative x plus 4 over 2 is a fraction. Divide x squared plus 2x plus 2. So when you have divide, it means it will be times 1 over x squared plus 2x plus 2. So therefore, 2 will be times with x squared plus 2x plus 2. Then numerator, I put the 4 in front. It's still same, we put negative x plus 4.